Hey there, it's Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, March 20th, 2022. Happy Astrological New Year and happy spring equinox. So the sun has moved into Aries as of 10:33 this morning. That's Austin time. At the same time, the moon had moved into Scorpio. So they were both at 0 degrees at the same time. So if you felt kind of wiggy this morning, you'll know why. I certainly did. I felt super weird for a lot of the day today. Later on this afternoon, I felt fine. So as usual, I will talk about the transits for the entire week, and then I'll do mini readings for all 12 signs. And I would invite you to look at your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. So you have to know the time of your birth and the place of your birth to find your rising sign, but you can get that at astro.com. You can register for free at that website, astro.com. And you can generate free horoscopes, your free chart. It's a great site for a lot of things. And if you need help with that, contact me. Happy to help you generate a chart. So, also appreciate all of those of you who have subscribed to my channel, and welcome any of those that are watching this for the first time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And do what y'all did a few weeks ago for me and share it with a few friends. Share this video with anybody you think would be interested in knowing about what's going on, the astro weather forecast, readings for this week, especially any Aries friends that you have, since it's the Aries season now. I myself will be having a birthday this coming Saturday, March 26th. I'll be 59 years old, believe it or not. So, and last week I was filming from Arkansas, Little Rock, because I went crystal mining at Ron Coleman's mine, which is outside of Hot Springs in Jesseville, Arkansas. Oh my God, one of my absolute favorite things to do on this planet. My inner child was in heaven, hog heaven, as it were. I can hear my Razorback dad calling the hogs. Arkansas is so, so beautiful and so frenetically low. And I mean, the energy is just beautiful. It's so easy for me to be there. I'm really falling in love with Arkansas, and you may find that I'll be moving there at some point in the future. Like I really was feeling that this last trip that I want to move there because it's just so easy for me to be, and it's such a beautiful place and such lovely people. So y'all can put out some good juju for that for me. Of course, I can reach all of my clients anywhere as long as I get a internet connection and can do my Zoom reading, which is where I do most of my psychic work, or a phone signal, because I do have some of you old clients that have been with me for decades that still prefer a phone call. So whatever works for you. All right, so I'm going to talk about the transits for this week. We are headed into a once in a lifetime transit. It'll be exact April 12th, and that is Jupiter and Neptune together in Pisces. We've never experienced that in this lifetime. We will never experience it again. So, back in the day, before we had telescopes, Jupiter was the ruler of Pisces. This is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's the sign of spirituality and evolution. It's about past lives, it's unconscious, subconscious. It's got these different realms. Every sign and every planet has a higher end realm and a lower end realm. So Pisces is the slippery fish, right? One fish that's swimming above consciousness and awake and alert and connected to spirit and connected into things psychic. And the other fish is swimming below conscious, unconscious, just in this web of like nebula energy. And so when we're moving and when we have any planets moving through Pisces, we can feel these effects even stronger. Neptune has been there for a while now. So Neptune is now the ruler of Pisces. Now that we can see through telescopes, Neptune has become the ruler of um, Pisces. But for those who do Vedic astrologer, Jupiter is still the ruler of Pisces. So they're co-rulers, right? So these co-rulers have never come exactly together in the skies in the sign that they rule in our lifetime, and it won't happen again. So this is we're already feeling this transit. It's going to be April 12th when it's exact, but they're already moving in it into a conjunction with each other. As I'm recording this, Jupiter is at 18 degrees of Pisces, Neptune is at 22. No, it's at 23 now. So there are anything within 7-degree orb is considered conjunct. And then the closer a planet gets to it, the more powerful we can feel the interaction. So Jupiter is the good luck planet. It makes things bigger, it brings benefits and wonderful kisses from the universe. Neptune is the psychic radar planet. On the high end, it is our download, spiritual downloads, psychic downloads, connection to the divine, connection to our higher selves, to angels and guides and that whole spirit realm. On the low end, Neptune is about addiction, fuzzy thinking, right? So it's psychic. It's the things that we can't really always see with our logical, rational mind. Jupiter makes these bigger, right? So when these two planets are coming together in the sign of Pisces, it is a spiritual awakening time for everyone on the planet. If you're already awake, you can just feel like your voltage gets amped up even more psychic abilities gets even stronger, dreams become more vivid, psychic hits as I call them, when you just get flashes of things that are intuitive, these get stronger. And for a lot of people who haven't begun to tap into things psychically, they are waking up now on the planet, all of a sudden getting interested in developing their psychic abilities or things psychic, or interested in developing spiritual practices or connecting with their higher self or connecting with the great divine. So there's even more of this going on. So this is to me a very positive pulse that is on the planet that we're already feeling and will just keep intensifying as we move into April and these two become closer and closer together. Also, today and tomorrow, Mercury, the planet that represents our communication and our thinking, is conjunct Jupiter. Right now, Mercury is at 18 and 22 minutes. Jupiter is at 18 and 42 minutes. So they're already conjunct at 18. They get even more exact by tomorrow, Monday, the 21st. So this is coming together of what? Our thinking, our conceptions, right? Our communication. Jupiter makes things bigger, right? So if we are having fuzzy thinking, frustration within our communication, Jupiter can make this even bigger. We can be feeling really offline. Or if we're really tapped into our psychic spiritual realm, these things can be, we can have great, fabulous conversations, right? We can have great ahas hit our logical, rational mind. Mercury traveling through Pisces can feel very much like Mercury retrograde, however. And I've had a lot of people asking me, is Mercury retrograde? It's like, no, but Mercury is moving through Pisces because Mercury is not really at home in this nebulous water sign. It's like, what? I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't see clearly. And so when Jupiter and Mercury are together, it's like expanding this, right? So it can expand the sense of, I have no idea, or I can't see clearly, or it can expand that connection to the divine, the connection to our higher self, where we can see it even more. So it makes anything bigger, right? Makes our communications more impactful. So there's many people who can have a very powerful conversation over these next 24 hours. Maybe you already had one today. Maybe you'll have one tomorrow. The moon is in Scorpio right now. So Scorpio is the deep, dark waters. It's also a water sign. So here we have this stellium in Pisces, Mercury, Jupiter, and Neptune. And then we have the moon moving through Scorpio, which is going to be trining this energy as it moves uh, across Scorpio. It just moved in this morning. So it'll start trining. That's a positive relationship. Mercury and Jupiter and Neptune, like tomorrow. So this can also then intensify the psychic connections. The moon is our intuition. It's how we tap into our feeling nature. The moon in Scorpio, Scorpio is the deep dark waters. Secrets can often be revealed when the moon is moving through Scorpio, or things that we've even held and kept secret from ourselves. Often past life memories can bubble up, or a childhood memory can bubble up, or people from the past can show up in our lives when a planet is moving through Scorpio. But Mercury conjunct Jupiter should be some sort of great conversation or some kind of good news. That's how I'm going to spin it, as a positive thing. Okay, so the sun in Aries, the sun's at 0 degrees of Aries today. It'll move into 1 degree tomorrow. You know, it takes 30 days for the sun to transit a sign. Aries is the baby of the zodiac, right? It is our passion, it's impulsivity, it's innovation, it's inspiration. Aries need to feel passion towards something to put their energy into it. If they don't feel passionate towards it, can't make it happen. That's just an Aries nature. Aries can also be very hot-headed, fiery, trigger-tempered, impulsive. So we can all start feeling these Aries tendencies as the sun transits through Aries. In this first decan of Aries, it really has to do with these connections with ourselves. How do we feel passionate about ourselves and our lives? Are we impulsive about how we're taking action in our lives, in the world? Are we inspired? You know, these are all kinds of questions. As the sun moves into the second decan, that'll be next week, it'll be exploring these uh, themes when it comes to our relationship to the world around us and people in our lives. And then the last decan will be about our future, and are we feeling passionately and into the future. One thing I've noticed very clearly, whether it's the moon moving through Aries, or Mars, the ruling planet of Aries, or the sun moving through Aries, it can really trigger people who have unresolved anger issues, people who have stuff they haven't worked through. The Aries energy can make it just be triggered spontaneously in the moment. People can fly off the handle. So we're already in volatile times. So just, keep a watch out for that kind of energy, whether that's within yourself or the people around you. Keep like you would a bonfire. You don't get up really in the middle of a bonfire, right? You step away from the fire, right? You give the fire some space to breathe. So if someone is getting too impassioned about something, or fiery tempered, just back away. That's what I would say the advice is for the next 30 days. But Aries is about new beginnings, right? So this is the beginning of a whole new astrological new year. So this is an exciting time. It's spring, right? Flowers are blooming, trees are budding again. There's all this newness in the air, and it's a very exciting time, particularly for me as an Aries. I love this time of year. So, but for all of us, it can be a time just like the calendar new year is time to set intentions about what we want for our lives for this next year. What do we want to see improve in our lives, right? How can we take care of ourselves? Aries being the baby of the zodiac, how can you do self-care in a better way that's nurturing to the infant within? When the moon is in the first decan, when the sun is in the first decan of Aries, it's a great time to nurture yourself, really up the self care, really imagine rocking or holding the infant self within, that beautiful, sweet, filled with good juju vibe that we all have it within us. We all have an inner infant, we all have an inner child, an inner teenager. And so this is a great time to nurture that inner infant within. Did you get all your needs met when you were an infant in this lifetime? If not, this is a great time to up that nurturing. What would really feel nurturing for your soul? Would it be some nice tub soaks with essential oils? Would it be getting yourself some flowers, maybe some beautiful clothes, being around people that you really love? loving yourself, writing in a journal. These are all things that could really help enhance your connection with yourself and up the volume on self love right now with the sun moving through the first decan of Aries. That's my suggestion, is having the focus be on self love and how can I love myself in a real tangible way. Not how can someone else, I can get someone else to love me, but how can I do that for me? How can my inner adult nurture my inner infant? Right? That's the question I'd throw out there for everybody. Okay, so we just had Venus in a square with Uranus just the last couple days. Venus is our love, our relationships. It's who we love, what we love, how we receive energies, also our money. Venus and Mars have been traveling together for a while now. Venus is pulled ahead of Mars. Right now, Venus is at 13 degrees of Aquarius, and Mars is right behind at 11 degrees. So there's 2 degrees apart. They're still conjunct. So we're still working out this divine feminine and the divine masculine within. They're in the second decan of Aquarius. So this is how we vibe with others, right? Are we receiving love, Venus, from the people in our lives? Are we taking action in the way that feels right when it comes to the people in our lives? That's Mars. So Venus squared Uranus, right? Over Saturday. So this is sudden unexpected things. Uranus is the great awakener. It throws curveballs. It loves the sudden unexpected. A square can be a contentious relationship or something coming out of the blue that you weren't expecting in the realm of relationships. Did that happen to you over the weekend? And again, we can feel transits before they happen and a little bit after too. What we're having this week on Tuesday is Mars in a square with Uranus. This is a little bit more intense, not a little bit, it's a lot more intensive. Mars, especially that Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Aries is just, the sun's just moved into Aries. So it tends to activate Mars. And Mars being in a square with Uranus, this is the god of war. It's our energy, how we put energy into things, how we take action with the great awakener, like sudden unexpected curveballs. Wake up. This could be a signature for things exploding, more war breaking out. Of course, we already have war on the planet. I have been sending prayer every day to the people over there in Ukraine and surrounding countries that are taking the Ukrainian citizens in. But this is, since Uranus is in Taurus, there and Mars is in Aquarius. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, right? So Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So when they were in a mutual reception, they're in each other's signs basically. Mars doesn't really feel comfortable in Aquarius. So Uranus has the upper hand. So slap to this, and you might get slapped back or feel that you are in an area where you're trying to put energy into things. It also can be a signature for an earthquake or volcanic eruption or other sudden unexpected earth events, because Taurus, the sign that Uranus is, represents the earth itself. So the god of war squaring off with Uranus and Taurus could really have eruptions, quite literally, happen on the planet. It can also be eruptions in our own lives. Again, especially with the sun in Aries, there can be verbal eruptions, emotional eruptions going on. And that's on Tuesday when Mars is squaring Uranus. So it can also be cyber attacks. Uranus rules the internet and that kind of stuff. So just watch out for that. Again, I advocate that everyone should start their day off in meditation, in chanting, in prayer, breathing deeply, asking their higher self, what today do I feel guided to do? And then following that guidance. I feel like that's just great guidance for anyone, but particularly when we have volatile setups like we do with this transit. It's kind of like knowing that there's a chance of tornadoes or a chance of thunderstorms. You want to watch out, right? You just want to be on the lookout of where that could show up and check in with yourself when it comes to how you feel guided to take action or not. Like, you may not want to get out there on the roads. Could be a signature for car accidents, right? Because Mars is how we put energy into things. We could be in a vehicle, sudden unexpected accidents could happen. I'm not saying it's a definite, but if you're feeling some trepidation about traveling or getting in your car, don't postpone it, reschedule. Or if you do have to get out there, just give yourself extra time and be extra aware that there may be people who are unconscious behind the wheels and being affected by these transits that they know not of. Okay. So we'll have the moon in Scorpio for the next couple of days, and then the moon moves into Sagittarius midweek. The moon will cross the galactic center on Thursday. The galactic center is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. So this is like the belly button. So anytime a planet crosses the galactic center, we could have world events. And the moon is the people too in astrology. So it could be something that affects everyone. Backing up on Wednesday, we'll have Mercury conjunct Neptune. So right now we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter, and we'll have that into tomorrow. On Wednesday, Mercury, the planet of communication and our thoughts, will be conjuncting Neptune. Again, Neptune is like high-end psychic downloads, vibrations, woo, like woohoo conversations, aha realization conversations, or it can be like checking out, getting lost in illusion, getting lost in delusion, like getting lost physically when you're out there trying to find your way, having conversations that go south, being extra prone to your addictions, whatever those are, could really be up in your face. So I see this as an opportunity to make some changes. With the Mars squaring Uranus on Tuesday, you could just decide, I'm stopping this behavior. You could take charge in some way. You don't have to wait for the incoming surprise. You could say, I'm just going to make it, I'm going to use this energy of a great awakening to make a big change. So if you've been wanting to shift some demons, some addictive habits, this would be a great week to shift it. I mean, we just have this new um astrological new year, so this is a great time to start new things anyway. We'll have the moon moving into Capricorn later on Thursday into Friday through the weekend. On next Sunday, we'll have Mercury sextiling Pluto. This is a positive connection with Pluto, which is death and transformation. So you can have some choose to look at something differently, having some different conversations. It could expand your thinking. So Mercury's really highlighted this week, right? Where it's moving through Pisces, where it's like, where am I? What am I? Jupiter has this connection with Jupiter today and tomorrow, which is expanding great conversation. It could expand these downloads from spirit and psychic hits. Then it has a conjunction with Neptune, and then it's going to have a sextile with Pluto. So our communications and our thoughts could really go through a major transformation and can be the highlight of this week. And so too can be how we take action with the Mars squaring Uranus going on this week. Let's see what else. So Mars in Aquarius really wants to do, Aquarius is the unique and the different, right? So Venus in Aquarius is like wanting to love someone in a unique and different way, put our heart into something that's unique and different and creative. Mars is like wanting to break away and do something differently. When it's moving through Aquarius, is like, I want to change this up. I don't want to do this anymore. I need to do this differently. I need to do this with some sort of renewed passion. I need to take some, everyone may feel more compelled to help other people because Aquarius is the double squiggly lines is about all humanity. So we may feel our heart, Venus, and how we want to take action, Mars, really feeling like we need to reach out to the world around us somehow. We need to help our fellow human beings in some way. So this is the vibe that I'm picking up. Now, Saturn is at 20 degrees of Aquarius. So they're both going to be interacting with Saturn next week. Venus will conjunct Saturn and then Mars will. So I'll talk about that in next week's transits because we won't be experiencing it this week, but they're getting closer. So I will touch on it a little bit, which is Saturn is our structures, how we form things. In Venus, what we love, we may want to change up who we're loving, how we're loving it. And then Mars taking action, want to change up that. So we may be starting to feel this transit ahead of time about changing our daily routines, changing our interactions and our connections and our groups. We may want to, like, I don't want to hang out with these people anymore. These people are not my friends. Or, ooh, I'm really drawn to these people. So there could be changes up in our groups and our networks because Aquarius rules the 11th house, which is the house of that, our networks, our groups, our friend circles. So there could be shifts and changes coming with that, especially with this Mars squaring Uranus too. That could be something that, like, whoa, all of a sudden something blows up in one of your groups. You're like, no, I won't be doing this anymore. I'm going to be removing myself away from this. Let's see. So again, I feel like the spiritual psychic awakening with the planets that are in Pisces is a very powerful thing for this week. Everybody wanting to vibe together with the Aquarius theme, that's powerful this week. The sun in Aries, whew. And the sun will be crossing over Chiron next week. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's at 11 degrees of Aries now. So Chiron's glyph looks like a key. In the transiting, it's helping all of us right now heal. It's in the second decan of Aries. So we're healing our connections with other people, right? Again, Aries is really about us, the ego, ourselves. And then into the second decan, it's like, and do the people in our lives treat us well? Are they loving us the way we want to be loved? Where have we experienced wounding from others? And Chiron is an opportunity to be healing that. And that will be highlighted next week when the sun goes over Chiron, but we'll start feeling that by the end of this week. It'll be moving closer to that. So healing issues around this topic could be coming up. So I'm just, again, we start feeling transits ahead of time. We feel them afterwards. We just had that full moon Friday morning early. That was super powerful. People going cray cray everywhere. It was like Thursday and Friday, I was seeing it in lots of places. So we can still feel that residual effect. We'll be heading to the next new moon will be on April Fool's Day. April 1st is the next new beginning in terms of new moon. So I think that's the notes that I have for this week. So now I'll go on to doing mini readings for all 12 signs. Take some sip of my tea. And I'll start with the birthday sign, the Aries. Again, if your moon is in Aries, your rising sign, or your sun, or you have a stellium, you have 3 or more planets in Aries, this reading will be appropriate for you. And we'll just do what the Aries need to know, see, learn, discover this week. The receptivity card. So this is definitely Aries having spiritual psychic downloads, all this Pisces energy, super strong. And of course, Pisces is a sign right next to Aries. So the Aries signs are feeling this super strong with this semi-sextile energy, in the sign just before Aries is the stellium of Mercury, Jupiter, and Neptune. So this is spiritual downloads, dreams being vivid, getting hits on other people psychically. Also, the water element is here, so you may be very well. Water is a transmitter too, so sometimes I get some of my strongest psychic hits when I'm soaking in the tub. I love to work out in the water. This may be a great week for other fellow Aries to get yourself soaking in a hot tub, in the bathtub, standing in the shower, going swimming, drinking more water for sure. Um, but there's a beautiful, I'm really drawn to the lotus flower here. So there's the lotus flower produces its blossoms and its seeds at the same time. So it symbolizes cause and effect. So it's like setting the cause to be open, to be receptive to spirit, to your spirit guides, to psychic downloads. Be a great week to practice before you go to sleep at night, setting an intention to be able to receive insight, direction from spirit guides. What do I need to see, know, hear, believe? Like, show me, make it really loud and clear. Pay attention to your signals that you get, pick up from other people. If someone starts coming across your radar in a strong way, pick up the phone and call them, text them, send them a snail mail, letter, send them an email. But I'm getting this really sparkly energy here above the crown chakra, which is, you may really start discerning messages from spirit guides. When I channel, this is where I feel like energy just pours in through the top of my crown chakra, and then I'll feel goosies like on my face. I'll feel it down my arm. Sometimes I feel it through my whole system, depending on how strong the message is coming through. But I invite all Aries, and whether it's your sun, moon, or rising, or a stellium, to open up to spiritual psychic energies this week, and see if you don't have like an aha moment, a realization, an extra strong psychic hit, vision, seeing something about your spirit guides, feeling like you've got your, like, I have a council. I have a number of spirit guides, right? But I've been starting to see that. And I've never been someone who's been a visual, like being able to see them. I would just sense them. I could feel the energy. I'm starting to see them. I'm starting to get visuals, which is a new development for me. I've always been a feeler and I channel, but I don't really see. Now I'm really starting to see. So all psychic abilities can be developed, can be expanded. And so I feel like Aries this week, this is an opportunity for your psychic abilities to go to that next level. You have to create the space for them. If you stay busy, 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 working, working, thinking, distracted with screens or whatever, it's going to be harder, right? Whereas if you allow yourself time to meditate, to get quiet, to get still, to step away from the computer, step away from the phone, step away from everybody else if you can, get out in nature, it's going to be easier to receive signals, because the receptivity card is just about being open, getting open. Like the job of the wide receiver in football is to just go get open. And that's our job this week as Aries, is to get open, not putting the brain aside. I often like to use the image of just sliding my mind to the side, or sliding my emotional body to the side, so I can just be a clear and open channel. That was something I used to do when I first started doing readings. I would just have that visual of sliding my mind to the side, sliding my emotional body to the side, and affirming I'm a clear and open channel, right? And so try that. See how that works for you. You may have to try it a number of times to feel that. We have to practice things sometimes for it to get easier. But if you practice it, you'll get better at it. I guarantee you. All right. That's what I get for the Aries this week. Get open and receive. All righty. And then we'll go to the Tauruses. What do the Tauruses need to know? See, this is sun, moon, rising, or stelliums in Taurus. I heard this before I turned it. It's the healing card. This is the one that's been showing up more than any other card in the last few months. So this is you being asked, are you doing the right things that keep your body in the best shape? Like, are you eating healthy? Are you moving your body in the way you should? Are you meditating? Are you sleeping enough? Like, is everything that you need to do for self-care and taking care of the physical body, are you doing it? You drinking enough water? Are you eating enough fresh greens, right? Are you staying away from sugar and carbs, not drinking? Like, This is the week to really focus on treating your physical body better, nurturing. There's also the hand over the brain. So there could be psychological healing. This could be insight that comes from another person or a book that you read or a therapist, but it feels like there's some sort of insight or aha moment that comes to in terms of you being able to see things differently. And this could come with the Mercury conjunct Jupiter and then conjunct Neptune too. You may get some psychic downloads about approaches to your thinking or your brain or how you communicate. You may get some psychic insights about how you could make some changes that would be more healing for you. Healing in your relationships, for example, with your communication, or healing with your relationship with yourself in terms of how you communicate with yourself. Also, there's a hand over the stomach. So it feels like there could be digestive stuff going on, things that you're not easily digesting, whether that's food or ideas or an environment of some sort, someone in your environment, you're not being able to digest it well. Um, I feel like there's some digestive changes, like some, maybe you need to take some probiotics, maybe you need to make some food changes this week. Pay attention to your health this week, Tauruses. And because the psychic planets are so strong this week, you could easily receive the inner guidance yourself about what to change, what to do. Just listen to your own intuition and make the changes that your own higher self is prompting you to make, is guiding you to make. Like if you're feeling strongly, I've been really feeling like I need to do this or not do that or whatever. Listen to that and make those changes. This is about loving you more. There's also this beautiful energy of the heart chakra opening. So it's also feels like there could be healing in relationships this week. Just like coming from a sweeter place, feeling safer, feeling less like anxious, it feels like. That you could like let go. I'm feeling that some of you Tauruses have been anxious about something or someone, and it just feels like the grip can be released on that, that you can like, okay, you can trust um, the other people in your life. You can trust that the universe has your back. There's just like a feeling that you're not alone this week. That, and with these big hands, these are divine hands that are laying hands on you. Your spirit guides and angels may be literally working on you. It may be a week to go put yourself in someone else's hands, whether that's getting a massage or acupuncture or Reiki or chiropractic care or getting a mani-pedi. Like let someone else tend you if that feels really nice or you feel guided to do that. Follow guidance this week in terms of all these things, and you will experience greater healing this week, Tauruses. All right, we'll go to the Geminis. Sun, moon, rising, or stelliums in Gemini. If you have a stellium in Gemini, there's quite the committee within because Gemini is the twins. So if you have more than one planet in Gemini, you have 4 people or 6 people or 8 people or 10 people up there. If you have that much Gemini, you're super creative. But you can really get trapped up in your head. It is the biggest obstacle towards being able to tap into your intuition is the brain, is the mind. Just saying, this as Geminis, ruled by Mercury. But since your ruling planet is conjuncting with Jupiter and Neptune this week, you guys in particular could really receive some incredible insight spiritually and psychically. I've drawn the sharing card for you guys this week. So this is about offering gifts of service. This is being of service to others, right? Helping someone else out. Whether you're sharing a conversation, which you're bringing the light, you're actually literally bringing someone food, or you're bringing someone a gift. You could be a parent where you're taking care of children, throwing a birthday party for an Aries child. I'm really drawn to the robes here and the pattern and design. So I'm getting like design and creativity. So there's like Geminis that are maybe designing something new. You're in the middle of creating something new, and you may get some powerful downloads and insights with this Jupiter Neptune conjuncting your ruling planet this week. Some inspired creative ideas could really come through this week. And it feels powerful. I'm really noticing her crown. She's got the royal red robes on. Like she's just really feeling her best self this week. So I feel like you guys really feel like you're kind of on top of it. You can help other people. If you're caught up in something within yourself, to turn around and help someone else at really get you out of yourself. But this feels like it's more of a like you're feeling so good. I want to give back somehow. I want to help others. But there's recognition as well coming for Geminis, like feeling like people are noticing you. So maybe you're putting something out there on social media, you're on a stage of some sort. Um, it, it just feels like you're getting the recognition you deserve, um, and are seen like whoever you're helping is appreciative, is what it feels like. Um, so yeah, there's definitely some helpful, I'm just really drawn to her hands, right? So helpful hands, like being of service, lending a hand, lending two hands, like you may be helping someone move or helping someone do something physically. Gardening, helping someone in their yard. I don't know, but it feels like there's definitely a draw to being of service. Um, this week, and feeling really good about it, not feeling like, oh, I gotta go help this person, but like I'm gonna go help this person. It's what I'm feeling compelled to do. You may decide to join a nonprofit of some sort and pitch in somehow. You may want to get involved with, a food pantry or something like that, where you're helping others in some way, or become a big brother, big sister, where you're mentoring the youth in some way. Um, yeah. Feels good though. Feels powerful. It just feels like I'm feeling happiness, joy. Like you're kind of not stuck in your head this week. It feels like you're really being able to channel insights and feel like a powerful flow is going on in your life this week, Geminis. All right, now we'll go to Cancers. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stelliums in Cancer. My little water babies. The sensitive ones. Most Cancers I know are very empathic, pick up the feelings of other people. So you have to remember to wring yourself out regularly. That's a thing. Putting your attention to breath work or getting in, water, or getting in lights, getting in the elements, getting around trees. Drinking more water for sure. The receptivity card comes up for you as well. This came up for the Aries. So you can scroll back and listen to what I said for the Aries, because I pulled the same card for the Aries. But this is about being open and receptive to new spiritual and psychic downloads. This is like expecting to receive messages from spirit, from your guides this week, from someone else psychically, like to be clear and know what you're supposed to be doing and to feel a flow in your life. The water here is feeling like, yeah, you don't have to rush to do anything this week, Cancers. It's like just let it evolve. Put yourself, if you don't know what the next step is, pause, go within, go into meditation, breathe deeply until you feel some sort of prompting. You receive a message, and then you do that. You put that out. It's like it just feels like it's real important to move slowly this week and let things unfold. Get out of your head, move your brain to the side, move your emotional body to the side. Just be open for downloads of spirit. Dream state could be vivid. Loved ones that have crossed could be connecting, picking up on psychic connections that you have with other people that are also open psychically. This would be a great time to experiment with sending and receiving psychic messages back and forth too with someone. If you have someone that would be interested in doing that with you, you could practice sending telepathic messages, whether that you're thinking of a certain name or something and see if they can pick up on it, or you can send feelings and see if they can pick up on that, or send an image of something and see if they can pick up on that. It's a fun psychic development game you can play with someone else. If you've got someone who also wants to be open and develop their abilities, you could say, hey, you want to practice sending signals to each other this week? Even when you go to sleep at night, it could be great to program yourself before you go to sleep to receive messages from your angels, from your spirit guides. What do you need to know? What is your higher self? What is the higher realm of angels and divine spirits want to impart on you? There could be even an extraterrestrial connection here. You may receive messages from um, beings that are not from this planet. Like if you're open to it, you could receive some pretty amazing messages this week. Just saying. You might want to write them down. Write down your dreams this week. Write down any psychic hits that you get, especially if it's prophetic and for the future. Because I feel like y'all could be receiving some prophetic um, messages for other people. Like you may get a message that is supposed to be delivered for someone else, in which case make sure that you do that. Like, okay, I just got the hit that I should call you, Sally. Had this dream. I think it's about you. Um, it's okay if I'm wrong. I'm just going to transfer the message nonetheless. But I feel like you guys can really be channels and conduits this week, Cancers. All right, that's what I see for you guys. Move on to the Leos. Sun, moon, rising or stelliums in Leo. Little fire signs. Y'all feel better when the the sun's in Aries as well, because Leos are trine to whatever's going on in Aries. So that's a positive connection. It's like one of the reasons why the fire signs all get along with each other. Leos, Sagittarius, and Aries usually vibe pretty well together, can understand each other, similar nature. Let's see what the Leos need to know this week. What's important to know? Here we go again with the healing card. Oh, okay. I just get so tired of talking about this card, and I just talked about it with the Tauruses, I believe. So you can go back and look and see what I said with the healing card. But this is about psychological healing. It's about physical healing. It's about emotional, mental healing. Like, what do you need to heal this week? Receiving downloads from spirit about what that could be for you. Do you need to heal your mind and how you're looking at things? In which case, Mercury conjuncting Jupiter and Neptune could be a great opportunity to have some new insights that are healing. Do you need to change your diet or how you're drinking? What are you drinking? What are you eating? Does that need to shift? Your digestive tract, does that need to be tended better? Your heart, who opens your heart? Like, what people feel better to be around? Which people are more difficult to be around? Removing yourself from people that are toxic and hanging out around the people that make you feel better this week. Take some time off this week just to nurture yourself. Put yourself in the hands of healers, like whether that's a doctor or an acupuncturist or a Reiki master or a massage therapist, chiropractor, getting some reflexology. These are divine hands, right? These are large hands. So it's like accepting help from the divine, accepting incoming messages that could be healing, picking up books that where you can feel inspired or led or guided to healing this week. Being able to be of service to someone else and healing this week. But I feel like there's powerful healing that's needed in the Leos this week, in putting your attention on what you need for you and not distracting yourself with videos and screens and busy work, but to really tap in and ask your physical body what it needs. Ask your emotional body what it needs. Ask your mental body what it needs, and then offer that healing. Do something differently this week is what I'm feeling too, Leos. It's like you got to switch something up, because it feels like you could be heading off a cliff. You've been overdoing it in some way, is what it feels like. And the need to just stop, chill, take some time off, breathe deeply, meditate, receive healing energy, and receive healing insights this week for the Leos. All right, we'll go on to the Virgos. You guys, since you're ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is conjuncting Jupiter and Venus, and then sextiling Pluto this week, you could really feel personally having some ahas, realizations, psychic spiritual downloads. I mean, we all can, but you guys, since you're ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's having these interactions with Jupiter and Neptune and Pluto this week, you may feel it extra potently. So this could be a great, great week just for some amazing off the chain insights and downloads from spirit. I've gotten the postponement card for you guys. This is about feeling on hold, a bit funky, depressed. This could be someone in your life that you care about that's depressed. It may not even be you, but this card comes up in private readings when there's just like the colors gone out, the joy for living is just drained out. I really get the fact that you could be worrying about someone else that's depressed, though, and it may not be you guys that are depressed. In which case, then downloads from spirit about what you can do, what you can say, what you can offer as a gift, what you can offer as service to someone who is in need. And even if it's you that's struggling with depression, to help somebody else can very often pull you out of the funk. Just to put your attention on someone or something else, get out in the garden and dig in the dirt. That would be awesome. I'm really getting the color of the earth here, and it feels like it could be really healing this week to just go dig in the dirt, to get outside, to plant some flowers, plant some seeds, pull some weeds, ground yourself, go for a walk in the green belt or a park, um, take a drive away from the city and see the sights. I'm really drawn to the clouds too. It's interesting because the clouds here are like almost an animation form, and then they turn to more real. So it just feels like get out of the box that you're in, step into the portal. Um, y'all are going to get some insights this week, is what I'm getting, like spiritual insights that may just wake you up. This could be just being sort of somewhat unconscious or subconscious, is going through the motions, maybe not depressed, but just kind of doing your daily groove and not really. And then all of a sudden having some color just come in. It almost feels like it could feel like an acid trip or a mushroom trip where like all of a sudden you're seeing things you hadn't seen before. So there could be a major shift for you guys this week. Looks like. I'm also drawn to the word postponement. So there is something that feels like it's still on hold. It may not be time to do something yet. So you may have to put your attention on something else. If it's not time to do X, then do Y or Z instead. Like you could put your energies into something else. If you're getting a block or a wall towards someone or something, reroute, redirect, detour, put your energy somewhere else. There's a way that you can affect a change, though. You don't have to feel stuck, is what I'm getting this week for the Virgos. All right, Libras. Sun, moon, rising, stelliums in Libra. Here we go again with the healing card. I don't even know what to say. This is the third time it's come up. It came up for Tauruses. It came up for the Leos. I would say go back and watch those two videos because I don't really feel like I would have anything else to say that I haven't already said in the Taurus or the Leo. But again, the fact that the healing card has now come up for the third time, I've never, ever had a card show up as often as this card has in private sessions, on dailies, in these weeklies as this healing card. And so, given the COVID that's on the planet and the effects of people who have had long-term COVID effects, the fact that people are still healing from losing people to COVID, the fact that we have a war going on the planet right now, and those people are being traumatized in need of healing. There's like this healing card pertains to physical healing, emotional, psychological, mental, all of it. And so, coming up for the Libras, you may be a vessel for healing. You may be the healers that need that some of the info is coming through you. You are channeling healing info to others, is what it feels like for the Libras. Like you are a vessel, you're a light worker, you're here to help. And so follow your intuition this week in how to be of service, how to help other people heal. You may need to be attention to your own health this week, really go back to basics. What do you need to feel good with your physical diet, with your daily routine, your sleep routine? Maybe it's healing to dive into some procrastinated something that you've done and just shift a pile that's in your room. That will feel healing. Do your taxes when if you've been procrastinating about that. Like I said, listen to the videos I've done on Taurus and on Leo because this healing card came up for them as well. um Geez, I just, it's a, what a time on our planet right now that we're in need of all healers to have all hands on deck right now. Um, and so some of you may be in a healing profession, your therapist, your counselors, your doctors, your nurses, you're in the healing arts already, massage therapists, in which case, bravo, you may get some channeled information for your clients this week that's extra powerful. Maybe you are getting new, I feel like you're hooked up to a new source of spiritual energy, psychic awareness, psychic insights may be coming in a way that's larger than they usually are this week. And this also could be about taking care of yourself, like taking some time off, taking a break, physically healing yourself. What do you need to for healing? I'm really drawn to the heart here. There's the healing of the heart. So there could be a relationship that you're getting into that's healing for you. Um, yeah. Jeez Louise, it is so weird that this card just keeps coming up. It's to me, it's reflective of what's going down on our planet right now. That it's intensive, and it's a time for all healers, all light workers to be suiting up and showing up. That's what I'm getting for the Libras. All righty, we'll move on. Let me take a sip here. Move on to the Scorpios. That's your sun in Scorpio, moon rising, or if you have a stellium in Scorpio. What do Scorpios need to know this week? Okay, this is the fourth time I've drawn this card. You can go back and listen to the Tauruses, the Leos, or the Libras, where I've already talked about this card. This is so crazy. So this tells me how many people are really suffering on this planet right now. And maybe people around you that you don't even know are really struggling, and you're being called to be of service to someone near you, or you're being called to make some changes that are healing for you. But go back, review what I said for the Tauruses, review what I said for the Leos, review what I said for the Libras, and something in there will also be there for you, Scorpios, because I don't feel like I have anything else I can say about this card that I haven't already said, except that this is a sign of the times. Never in 34 years of doing psychic readings have I had one card come up over and over and over and over and over again, like this healing card. So take what it take what you want from that. The planet needs healing. Everyone on the planet needs some sort of healing right now, is what I get from that. And Scorpio, maybe you're the one to help, even just to have a healing conversation with someone near you, right? Even if you're not a quote unquote light worker or healer, or you don't see yourself as one, maybe you're healing someone this week by being of service. Maybe you're healing someone in just a conversation, maybe stopping to listen to someone this week. Maybe you're receiving healing in that same way. Maybe someone's being of service to you, someone's opening your heart. Maybe you've got a relationship that's healing for you, healing some of the trauma from the past. You've got someone new in your life that's bringing in a beautiful healing energy. This feels beautiful and positive. It doesn't feel like a negative. It feels like it's almost like the faucets are open and the healing is pouring all over this planet. So get a container, get a way to receive it, and then channel it to others if you can, is what I'd say for this card and for the Scorpios. All right, we'll go on to the Sagittariuses. Sagittarius are also feeling the sun moving into Aries as it's trining your sign. Trines are positives. All of the fire signs usually vibe well with each other. So when the sun's in Aries, the Sag is like that energy. I've got the flowering card. So this is things blossoming and blooming, of feeling good. It may be time to get out there and plant the flowers, plant the seeds, buy yourself some flowers. It could be literal there. It's also a time in your life where things are flowering. The fruit is on the vine. You are being acknowledged for what you're putting out there. It feels like clients may be coming in. I'm really drawn to the fact that her dress is healing. So I feel like some of you Sagittarius are healers, whether that's literal with um, you know, that you're a physical healer, a nurse, a doctor, an acupuncturist, a massage therapist, and you have clients that you're healing, or whether you're a teacher or counselor and you just your interactions with other people are healing. But it feels like you're bringing the light. You may not know how much people appreciate you, but I feel like that you're bringing in a positive energy to other Sages. There's a beautiful flower wreath here around her head. So it feels like the flower child, kind of like, just really, you may be getting into art or creativity this week in a new inspired way. She's got all the colored bangles on her arms here. So she's all dressed up, ready for the ball, ready for there may be some sort of party or celebration or event that you're going to this week, Sages, that just feel like you get to enjoy yourself and be yourself. I mean, she's got all jewelried up and stuff, but she's barefooted here. So she's feeling free. She's sitting on a lotus flower. The lotus flowers produce the blossoms and its seeds at the same time. So you may be starting something that will come into full fruition over this next maybe lunation cycle. It is the first day of spring. um, it just feels like it's a good time that you're feeling good emotionally and that you're helping others feel good. I'm really getting that you're giving others some sort of insight or healing help. Um, you maybe just sharing what you feel or think to a friend and it's exactly what they need to hear, or you invite someone to go with you to something and that person just really needs some companionship, like really listening to your intuition this week and following through. Feels like it's not only benefiting you but it's benefiting the people around you. I'm really getting the water here underneath the scene too, like she's really sitting on this lotus flower that feels like it's sitting in the water, so there's like a water element that feels like it's important. Maybe soaking in water. Maybe you're sitting out by a pool, maybe you're sitting in a hot tub, maybe you're drinking more water. I just feel like water is a prominent thing this week for the Sages as well. Drink more water, I'm hearing. um, so make sure that you're hydrating enough because it feels like you can be going staying too busy and not stopping to breathe. But it feels like it's a good week, happy week. It feels like you're doing a lot and enjoying a lot this week, Sagittarius. I'll move on to the Capricorns. The Master card. This is about you tapping into your own inner wisdom, the master that is within you, your own higher self, your own divinity. It could also be seeking out the advice of a guru of sorts, right? Someone who has wisdom and insight that they can offer you. This may be a book that you're reading or watching something on a YouTube video or on TV. Um, I feel like it's you though. I get the feeling like this guy's like looking at you in the mirror. Look how penetrating these eyes are. And this is Osho. This is the Osho Zen Tarot deck. So this master card is Osho. So it does denote like the spiritual guru. Um, but I feel like this is you tapping into that within yourself. Like, what do you do to access your own higher self, your own divinity, your own wisdom? And in what way are you letting that out in your life? Are you taking enough time to connect with spirit, to do meditation time, to making sure that you have the space for your higher self to come out in the world? Um, He's not even speaking, right? He's just looking penetratively with the eyes. There's something about like getting insight or just note to self is what it feels like. You may be getting insight that only you get. Like you could be watching the same thing that a whole room full of people are watching, and then you feel like you're getting a personal message. So it feels like you're downloading very personal messages. You may be getting them like this moon here is above his head, so you may be getting channeled information while you're sleeping. Again, we've got Mercury conjuncting with Jupiter and Neptune this week, so it can be really powerful downloads from spirit. And it feels like you're aware of them, you're getting them, like you're going, okay, this is a realization, this is an aha moment, this is important information for me to see. It could be important information about someone else that you can see someone clearly and you know. And again, you don't have to say, I know. You could just like go, okay, note to self, I see. You're getting the insights that you need this week. You're getting the realizations that you need this week. You are being the master this week. All righty, we'll go to Aquarius. The breakthrough card is coming up. Yeehaw. This is a celebration. It's having the light within affect a change in terms of how you take action in the world. It's a realization, it's insight, it's spiritual awakening, and it's changing everything. It's like overcoming an obstacle that's held you back, and you're having a big breakthrough. Maybe you get those taxes done, or at least off to the accountant. Maybe you it feels like you're getting over some sort of block or obstacle, whether that's something you procrastinated about or something that hadn't been the right time, and now it has been the time. It's like this is moving things forward in a very powerful way that feels super exciting and relieving and liberating. It's like, I did it. Like, see his fists just like, yes, I did it. So this is like a victory, and it could be a private victory that nobody else knows about, that you know, break a bad habit and you make it through the first week or month or year. You have something to celebrate because you've shifted something in a very powerful way. Breakthrough. You are having a breakthrough this week, not a breakdown, a breakthrough, and powerful insights this week. Of course, you guys are having Mars is in your sign, Venus is in your sign, and Mars is squaring off with Uranus, your ruler. So you could definitely feel like something shakes you up, but it's a positive shakeup. Um, if things get rattled in your world, expect that once the dust settles, this is a positive change. Someone new could come into your life this week. I'm also getting some messenger. um it could be heralding that someone's about to come as well. That could also be happening. um the inner child feels like it gets its needs met this week. Aquarius is, that's the other thing I'm getting with this breakthrough card for y'all. Alrighty, and then we'll go through the Pisces. Sun, moon, rising, or stelliums in Pisces. We got the sorrow card. So this is like maybe processing some grief. Maybe you're not physically feeling good. You've struggled with something. It feels like something that feels chronic. So grief you haven't gotten over, or feeling bad. This could be like a karmic pattern that's just lingering. I'm getting a cough too. So some of you may be sick. Maybe this is a COVID thing. Maybe it's an allergy thing. Maybe just physically feeling run down, feeling your age. I just feels like you're having a hard time this week, Pisces, and need to just really feel liberated. What's positive here is this downloading of like the infinite here into the being. It's like he's not looking at it. He's sad and he's stuck here, just looking within. He does look like he's in monk's robes. So it could be that he's purposely taking on the suffering of someone else of the world in order to transmute it. Like there may be some sort of like Tonglen practices coming to mind where you take on the suffering of someone else and breathe out peace in mind. But looking at his face, I don't feel like he's doing it correctly here. But there is this infusion of the universe if he could just stop and change perspective. So it feels like you may be focusing on the negative, getting stuck in something that's not helpful, that needing to like walk away from it, like get outside, connect with spirit, get some new influx of new fresh air, breathe more deeply, knowing that this too will pass. If it's a physical ailment, you may need to get some different help. Maybe seek out Chinese medicine and Chinese herbs or homeopathics. If you're stuck in a health condition that's not shifting, walk into Whole Foods and ask the people in their vitamin health department, hey, these are my symptoms. What do you recommend? Those people are golden. If you have a healer that you can go to that you can trust, you may ask friends to pray for you, or get some Reiki. But I feel like you guys is intensive. It feels intensive this week. Um, but there is the ability to receive insights and to know how to shift this. It just feels like it's hard to move and hard to make a change. And so it feels like you need to get out of it feels like there's a repeated pattern that you're saying to yourself or that you're stuck in some sort of loop. Um, and it may be showing up physically, but it feels like it's a mental loop. So I'd also recommend picking up a Louise Hay book and looking at the symptoms and seeing what the affirmation is. Do you know this? I mean, this is a older copy of this book, You Can Heal Your Life. I highly recommend it. There's also a book, Heal Your Body. And in the back of this book, whatever form it comes in, this book can usually be found at your half price bookstore. It may be a different version of it, but they all have a part in the back where it has the probable cause to an ailment, what the ailment is, what the probable cause is, and the affirmation that you can say to shift it. It feels like you need an infusion of something different and repetitive. Like you've been repeatedly stuck with something that's negative. It feels like you need to shift gears and then really get into repetitive affirmations. Maybe you need to pick up some Bach flower essences, some essential oils to help shift your physical, emotional body, or go to a healer and get some help this week. But and you can receive the downloads yourself and just pray, ask for the motivation to make a change, ask for the inspiration to make a change, ask for help. Reach out and say, I really want to make a change. Can you help me? I need some support. Like that may the phone may weigh 10,000 pounds right now if you're in a deep physical depression or if you're struggling with physical health issues. But I feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a way to shift this. You won't always be feeling this, is what it feels like to me for the Pisces. But it feels like it could be a difficult week. Breathe deeply. You could have a transformative experience if you receive all these powerful psychic spiritual lineups that are in the stars, as in the planets this week. You can shift it. You really can. Okay, that's what I get for all 12 signs. That's what I get for this first day of spring, this first day of the Astro New Year. Let me know if you'd like to schedule a private session of any kind. You can check out my services on my website below. Check out the daily videos that I post on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I got links to those below. And have a blessed week. Peace.